Much requested, the much talked about, the much anger, the much heartfelt hurt, the much pain, the much butt crust and visualities, much butt crust, much butt crust, much butt crack.
Everything you just said reminded me of a Tom Hanks movie.
Bum, bum, bum. Hey guys, welcome back to Rewatch the Movie. I'm Mike and he's Jay, and we're going to talk about the casting of Superman vs. Batman. We've already gave our opinion about Ben Affleck. We both think it's fucking awesome.
Yep.
We both go against the grain on that one. We think it's going to be great. But the new news casting is that Jesse Eisenberg is going to play Lex Luthor.
It smells like soup.
There's several casting. There's Jesse Eisenberg. There's the girl that they hired to play Wonder Woman. And there is Jeremy Irons as Alfred. So
That's an amazing pick.
Let's start off on a
Jeremy Irons.
positive note.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy fucking Irons.
That you couldn't have picked a better. I mean, you could have gone with Malcolm McDowell, or we talked about if he was still alive, Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, Donald Pleasance, Malcolm McDowell, Anthony Hopkins would be a good one.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Irons is like above that. I mean, Jeremy Irons that's fucking amazing. Like that's the best. And if the movie ends up sucking ass, it will be a disservice to Jeremy Irons because he is a perfect fucking Alfred.
Oh my God, he is. I was wondering, would Jeremy Irons come back? You know, when they decide what they're going to do with Batman after Batman vs Superman, would he come back as Alfred? Would they decide what, you know, if they're going to reboot Batman or if Ben Affleck's just going to take on over, if it's going to be the origin kind of story in Superman
I
vs.
think they're planning on it. I think maybe they're casting that way. When they cast, they're trying to get people to say, okay, well, you're going to do the Justice
Well, I hope you don't die,
League.
Jeremy,
You're gonna
because
do
you're
the
old.
next one, right?
Don't die, Irons.
He's not that old.
Stay away from the heroin.
Favorite Jeremy Irons movie? Right here. Favorite Jeremy Irons movie, dude. Die Hard with a Vengeance. The bad guy.
Oh my God.
Simon.
So you couldn't catch me with my it'd be in my chair.
You could catch me with my chair.
I met a man from St. Alex who had 7 wives. I also loved him in The Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
He's able to portray so many different
100%.
sides of it. It's a great movie. He's able to portray so many different sides of a personality that you're like, I can be behind him as a villain, or I can be behind him as a good guy, or I can be behind him as a goddamn butler. You're fucking awesome. It's great. I love it. I'm happy. I am totally happy with Jeremy Irons as that.
Perfect.
Now let's move on to Eisenberg time. I don't like it. I am not gonna say that I'm not like it couldn't be good because Mike read to me because I can't read. He read to me.
It was like The Notebook. Jay was sitting in his lawn chair and he was like, "Is that my daughter?" And I was like, "Let me read you a story, darling."
The problem with Jesse Eisenberg is he's just a smart-ass motherfucker. Like, you know, there's nothing about him to me that I've ever found intimidating. Literally, sometimes he makes me just want to choke his shit, and not his chicken. No.
No?
I know.
I thought you were.
Why are you so close to your mouth?
Going there?
Why are you so... Oh!
Did I go?
Look, sometimes when he plays these like smart alecky kind of like I know more than you, I just want to choke the fuck out of him. Like, I don't care, you're not intimidating.
But isn't that perfect for
No, because the thing is, the only reason why I say that for is because Ben Affleck is going to be playing, like I said, a seasoned Batman. So when they have this sparring session, when it's going to be Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor saying, I think we should do this to Metropolis because I'm better than you. You know, Ben Affleck's going to be like, I work at Fashionable Mail. Shut up, child.
I'm gonna do your girlfriend someplace uncomfortable.
Like in the back of a Volkswagen? Yeah, but you know, it just doesn't have the same kind of standoffish feel. Like, I really think that if they had cast an older Lex Luthor, and I know I'm beating a dead horse with maggots in it, but I'm saying like
Bryan Cranston.
I just think that the guy, what he brings to the table, what he could have brought to the table would have been just the right kind of evil psycho genius that could make it all work together. I'm not saying Eisenberg won't be good. I'm not saying that. I just don't like Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of certain characters in movies, and I don't think that you bringing that to Lex Luthor is going to work. I don't. I may be in the minority, but
You're not. No, most people think that. I slightly disagree with you. I think that it could suck. It could suck because he's just not. I mean, sometimes in the animations, in the comics or whatever, sometimes, yeah, I mean, it's Lex Luthor. Think about Gene Hackman. He wasn't by any means a physical intimidation.
No,
but
neither Lex.
So in that idea, yeah, but it's a different type of thing. But in the comic books, sometimes in the animations, Lex Luthor, even though he was no threat physically to Superman.
No.
I mean, he had suits and shit that he could do. But he was a big,
I had suits.
he was a big, demonstrative
Yeah.
guy. And in that sense, Jesse Eisenberg can't pull that off. But I think it's a sneaky good casting in my opinion. I like it.
Why is it sneaky?
Because you didn't see it coming, did you? Did you see it coming?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Suck me in the face.
But no, I mean, like you said, how he played in the Facebook movie and Social Network. He is smarmy and he is that perfect sense of I'm just a fucking asshole. I'm gonna make you fucking hate me, and that's what makes a great villain, right?
Yeah, but his smarmy attitude in Facebook worked because it was that kind of movie. In this movie, like if he's like trying to be all I know it all and shit, like that was the thing. Like in this movie, Lex Luthor, he's supposed to be not intimidating physically, but mentally, he's like, I got all the angles covered. I know exactly which way you're gonna go, and I'm gonna fucking slap my dick in your face. But this one, he just be like, stupid.
But if I told you,
but I know, but
Kevin Spacey was going to be Lex Luthor,
I didn't like it.
and that movie never happened, you would have liked it. I liked it. I liked the idea of
I
it.
thought Kevin Spacey was okay, but I didn't think he was amazing because I thought he was copying too much of
Well,
Gene Hackman.
he sucked. I mean, for
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, he sucked. But when you hear that casting, that sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
But I think Jesse Eisenberg, it's different. It's fresh. It's new. I hate that he's so small.
Are you like literally referring to this, or are you referring to a new taste of Diet Coke?
New,
It's like, new, refreshing, exciting.
No, but I hate that he's in no shape, form whatsoever, any kind of physical presence.
No,
I think you need to have a little bit of that. But because honestly, Batman could flick him in the eye with a pinky and he'd cry.
Well, I'm not saying I don't want people to like start thinking that we're trying to say he has to be like fucking The Rock.
No,
Not like
not at all. Not at all. But he's just so tiny. It's just hard to imagine. But he's the perfect bad guy if you think about it, because of his smart personality, because of how evil he can be, how shitty he can be. I mean, back in the day, you thought he's a dork. He's the Michael Cera type of guy. Or
He
whatever.
is Michael Cera.
Yeah, but with the
His
Facebook
brother.
movie, with the smarmy ass character, I hated his character in Now You See Me.
Yeah.
But that kind of character, I think he can pull it off. They're going to shave his head. It's going to look weird. I think they can pull it off. It's either going to be the greatest portrayal of Lex Luthor on film ever, which I don't think they've really done it right up to this point, even with Gene Hackman,
It was probably
or it's going to be a complete joke, and that's kind of where this movie's headed at. So I mean, I like it. I'm interested in it. Tell me you're not.
Well, you're not
interested.
intrigued. Everybody's intrigued
Yeah.
to see what it's going to be like, but I also don't want to see a train wreck when I know it's going to happen. It's like fucking Next with Nicolas Cage. I can see it. I can see all the angles. Stop.
And we also don't know how big Lex Luthor's role is.
Yeah.
They're throwing a lot of shit into this movie, and
That could be a
I
problem,
don't
yeah.
like. They're throwing too much shit. I mean, Batman vs Superman. Fuck, you could have no other character in the movie, and that's worth watching
Well,
for
you
two
gotta
and a half hours alone. But I'm just saying, we don't know how big of a role he's going to play. This could be the start of Jesse Eisenberg in this. He could have a couple little small parts. They could just veer to him every once in a while. He could be doing some back dealings in the background. He may not be the central villain, and that gives him time to grow, get a little bit older into his character as the movies go along. It could be just the start.
Every time I see Jesse Eisenberg on screen, it's just one of those things. I was like, when he's trying to be all smart alecky, and in certain ways it works. In certain movies, like Zombieland, it worked. And it worked in certain Social Network and shit like that. I get it what he's trying to do, and I kind of root for him. In this one though, it'd be like, go back to wearing your mom's underwear when you were a kid, because you're just an asshole and you think you know everything. You don't know shit. And I'm Bruce Wayne, and I'm Batman, and I can beat the fuck out of you.
Think about that little kid in Game of Thrones, though. That
Yeah,
little
I
King
know.
Joffrey.
Yeah.
He's a little fucking squat.
But he's not like
You can
Luthor.
bitch smack the stuff out of him, but he's powerful.
Yeah.
So he has all this power, and he does all this evil shit, and you hate him, and that's what makes him a great bad guy.
I know it does.
I'm gonna drop the mic on that one because that was a really good fucking comparison.
Where did he go? I'm not saying that it's not got potential. I'm just saying I think that what would have made sense is because they're doing an older, wise and seasoned Bruce Wayne, Batman, who's also the billionaire, it would make sense if he's in a corporate board meeting.
Yeah.
His arch nemesis, as far as like finances and corporations go, is Lex Luthor, who would be just as old and seasoned.
You speak the truth.
Oh my God, your finger smells like weird cookies. No, so we'll hold our breath. I hope it's good. I hope it's great. But I mean, I'm not down for it.
I like it because I'm interested. I would have rather had Bryan Cranston.
Who else? I mean, if you really think about it, who else would you have had? Like
I
Bryan
don't
Cranston
really
is
know.
like so like perfect for that role.
He is, but he's been an older one, and like you're trying to start this whole new thing. Superman's a brand new thing. He just got his powers in the last movie. The Batman thing may trickle off to its own thing, but the Superman thing's kind of new.
Well, wouldn't it make
Henry
sense-
Cavill's kind of new. He's kind of new. They have time to grow.
You know what I would have think? I would have
Feel it. It goes around the hole.
up and down and around.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have made more sense though than casting an older Lex Luthor versus Henry Cavill's younger Superman, because it's like his anti-dad. Like Jonathan Kent, played by Kevin Costner, was like, do good things in life and you can be what you want to be. And then here's this older Lex Luthor who's basically got all this power and money in the world. It's like, why aren't you using your powers for like
It
yourself?
could have been one of the small advantages Lex Luthor has over the
Like a father
perfect
figure.
Superman.
'Cause he
is
can-
that he's wiser. Yeah, I get
Yeah, because Bryan Cranston could play that role like, I care about you.
But I think-
I care
I
about
just-
you, and I want to do what's good for everybody. But
Oh,
in
he's
the end-
manipulative in the perfect
Yeah.
way like that.
I just don't get it, because Jesse Eisenberg's going to be like, I'm going to delete you from my Facebook. I will rule the world. I'm going to MySpace. Fuck it. So, let's move on to the sexual. Wonder Woman is cast.
I don't care.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is part of the big three. You look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I don't like the idea that they're like Jimmy hooking this fucker in.
They're
you
throwing
know?
all this shit into this fucking movie that all you need is Superman and Batman. God damn it. I just want to see them fight for 2 fucking hours. This Wonder Woman, I don't know much about her. She was in Fast and Furious, but that's fine. I mean, first off, the number one requirement: Wonder Woman has to be
hot.
Thank you.
I'm
Yes.
going to tap that. That's what you gotta think. Like, when you look at her, you gotta be like, oh my god, she's fucking hot, sexy, and she's badass.
She's gonna threaten you with her sword while she's on top. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so dangerous.
So dangerous.
That's
But yeah,
it.
no, this chick is hot. So I mean,
Yeah.
from a guy perspective, she's got to be hot, and she is. So I'm fine with that. I don't think Wonder Woman needs to be in this fucking movie. There's rumors that The Rock is being casted as Green Lantern. I don't know how much truth
No,
there is to
no,
that, but
no.
that does not need to fucking happen. For
can't just
me, if you're gonna start this whole fucking thing over again, and you're talking about Green fucking Lantern, and it's gonna be the staple, it's got to be fucking Hal Jordan. It's got to be
that's what
fucking
they would
Hal
go
Jordan.
for, but they would make The Rock like he's too big.
He can't be Hal Jordan.
He's too big. I mean,
he cannot be Hal Jordan.
I mean, the thing is, you said it right, man. Batman vs Superman is all-encompassing. It literally needs nobody else in this movie. And I know they're going to use this as a springboard to Justice League, but why can't you just have a mention of it? You don't have to really have them in the movie.
And maybe they'll do that with like the Hawkeye and Thor, like
Hawkeye's
a little
fine.
moment.
Oh, you okay? I
Yeah,
like
just a little spot.
Well, you know, I know it sounds like we're sexist fuckers, and but I don't give a fuck about Wonder Woman. I understand that she's part of the big three
In a Justice League movie, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand it's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And they're like, oh my god, they're like the Trinity of holiness. I get it, but in this movie, it's not needed. It's just like it's eye candy. It's like you're gonna throw something in here to make her, it's Wonder Woman. Oh my god, and I don't care. But at the same time, I will say that I think the casting is pretty good. She's hot. That's one, and two, she's got that strong personality.
Yeah.
I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man kind of thing, which is good, great. But I heard, this is what I heard. This is rumors, and I was in Hollywood, so that's what I heard. The thing is they pushed back production on this movie 10 months because they just said that they were trying to make it the best. They wanted to bring the most out of the vision that they had for it. But what the rumor was, is that there was infighting with the writers because they were trying to introduce more characters
They're
into
trying
the
to get
movie.
Justice League on the fast track.
Yeah, like Green Lantern, the Flash was mentioned in it at one point.
If you get and if you if you go on IMDb right now and you look up the shit, they say Justice League announced 2017.
Yeah.
It's probably way too quick. I mean, you got all these great characters, man. The Flash. I mean, there's Wonder Woman. They haven't even talked about Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, all these things that you gotta flesh out. And I just don't think you've got Superman versus Batman, the first time in history of cinema.
Dude, that's
don't fuck that up trying to look into the future. Make that fucking great right now.
It's a loaded diaper of dreams.
Yeah,
coming
because
at
they
your
don't
face.
realize if this movie fucking sucks, there is no Justice League. There is no
I
fucking
said that
Justice
before,
League.
dude. I have no problems with what DC's doing. They got their two biggest iconic characters in there. A lot of people wanted the Batman vs Superman a long time ago, and they're doing their best to say, oh, you know what? We're going to make this. We're going to give this to the fans. They've always asked for it, but they got to be really careful and tedious on how they present it because if they do it the wrong fucking way, you're right. It will ruin their reputation because right now, Marvel's over there with their dicks in their hand, slung over their back, like, what are you going to do? A lot of people are going to, like, how are you going to put these two iconic characters together on screen that makes sense? And then at the same time, because I don't know, I'm guessing, I really am guessing it's a studio decision and trying to jury rig all these extra fucking characters in there. How are you going to do that and make it make sense? Like, and make it entertaining, make it grounded, like Man of Steel, and have, it's grounded and you can relate to it. Like this, if you put like fucking Wonder Woman flying around, the Flash running really fast till he runs out of his pants, you got Green Lantern flying in, the Rock, and he's like, smell out our Green Lantern's cooking, and shit like that. Like, oh my God, you're going to be like, this is a disaster.
Fucking save it for the Justice League. Put it in a couple movies. Take your time. Flesh it out right. Don't be pissed because Marvel got there first. And I fucking love DC. I fucking love DC. But don't just because Marvel got there first doesn't mean you have to shimmy your way into it. Take your time and make your own thing. You don't have to do what Marvel did. And not only that, on top of that, on top of the pancakes, you put the syrup. But I'm just gonna say, like it's Batman vs Superman. This movie will fail completely if you don't do it right because all the fans were so excited about seeing Batman vs Superman, Batman team up with Superman, Batman, Superman, any capacity. If you don't give us enough of that, no matter what the fuck you do with this movie, we're gonna be pissed the fuck off. And the battery died again. Are you sure that it died right then? Did you see it die?
Literally died.
You saw it with your own two eyes?
I saw it go back in
You
the
saw
vagina.
that shit happen?
It went right
Yeah,
back in.
so, but in the new 52, the war DVD, Cyborg's a quarterback whose dad's not interested in because he's too interested in scientists. Cyborg goes over there. There's a huge accident. There's a huge accident, and Cyborg somehow becomes Cyborg.
Yeah.
The first shots that they took of the Batman vs Superman movie were of a football game in Gotham.
So you think
there were two
Cyborg
teams fighting
was
the Suicide. They could be throwing that in as a secret. as a little touch to it, And Shazam, in the animation, he was a kid that like snuck
Billy
his way
Baxter.
in. Yeah, he was this kid that
Baxter.
snuck his way in and really liked the quarterback or whatever, and stole his jersey or whatever. And dude, they could be tying a bunch of shit into this, but that's my little thought.
You gotta
I
be
mean,
really
it's spoiler
careful.
ahead of time that I'm just trying to use a little bit of knowledge I have to bring something new to the table, and maybe they introduce Cyborg, maybe they introduce everybody here quickly with little short shots
gotta be-
on the outskirts of the Batman vs Superman story, like really like 5-10 minute parts for each Justice League character, and then you're ready to go for Justice
Billy
League.
Baxter.
That might be cool.
As long as they do it right.
Yeah.
This is a movie right now that you got to handle so gently, so carefully.
You gotta just
Newborn baby.
You gotta pat the.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.
Ryan Reynolds would be a perfect Deadpool. And they should already made that fucking.
That's
boom, 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 boom. Deadpool on the shirt.
I am wearing a Deadpool.
Yeah,
shirt.
you are.
I didn't even realize it. Somebody should tell me what I'm wearing.
We watched a movie. We watched it.